Alright, I know y'all remember when we used to do this, and yeah, I'm doing this like this because, seems there are an awful lot of dorks, an awful lot of you dorks out there in the internet wrestling community, IWC I should say, but, oh my goodness. I know that these images are a little bit much, and if you did see AEW's All Out this weekend, I mean, I can understand if you're finding this to be more than you want to deal with right now, and okay, fine. You know, I totally get that. I mean, it's like the great JR would say, it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, they even talked about, at least in the case of Swerve and Hangman, you know, Justin Roberts even gave the, I'm trying to think of the word that I was wanting to use for it, he prefaced the introduction of that main event as the main event that will be unsanctioned. He literally said the sanctioned portion of this program is now officially over, the lights are going out, blah blah blah. That being said, now there are those of you that are wanting to cancel the shit out of AEW completely. Good luck with that. Boy, are you ever going to need it, and even if you did, it's not going to work out for you, so to fuck with all of that. But to me, it's just really, really hilarious. I mean, I can't understand how we get here with these things. It's like, we got Raw coming to Netflix in a matter of months. And God only knows the level that they're going to take shit at that point. Now, of course, there's word about how there's now restrictions. I'm not really sure how that's necessarily going to work for that. But in this particular case, they're a completely different entity. We need to quit treating them like they gotta be the same fucking thing. And that was the issue that was the thing with AEW to begin with, as I'll talk about here in a little bit. But for me, just the fact that anyone's even talking about having a petition signed to cancel AEW, like that's gotta be some of the most laughable shit ever. So we're going to just let that be that. We're going to move right along. We're going to actually talk about another aspect of that in terms of specifically Mox. Not so much Claudio, but it's quite clear now that Claudio, Pac, and really I'm not even sure about Yuta. That's TBD right there. But obviously Blackpool Combat Club ain't Blackpool Combat Club anymore. At least I don't think they'll be going by that. At least I can't imagine that, even with an actual Brit in Pac as a part of the group now. But I don't know. I really don't know how else to look at it, other than I've actually had a little help with this. I know I talked about help in my most previous video, but this is the help that I'm actually looking for, okay? I actually had a little bit of help as far as putting 2 and 2 together when it came to Mox, Marina Shafir, and Darby Allin, which we'll see. I gotta put the air quotes there because nothing's official about that yet, so I gotta call that accordingly. That said, where all of this is concerned ultimately has me believing that Shane is on the way. Shane McMahon is very much on the way, and I'm not going to talk much about him outside of this, but there's definitely sign that Shane is on the way. I mean, for Mox, even though he went up to the incorrect Tony and say this is no longer your company, that's some really telling shit right there. And I think we've had the expectation, or at least the speculation about it, for the last few months or so. It seems as though it's coming into fruition. And speaking of things that are coming to fruition, it ain't just that we gotta focus on. I think we got a little bit of Hurt Business, or I guess a Hurt Syndicate to look forward to. I don't know. But that's what was trademarked, was the Hurt Syndicate by MVP. And it's really, really interesting because he's been pretty vocal about a lot of things that have been going on. Not even so much just in the Triple H era, but just with WWE in general. And it's just fascinating to see this happening the way that it is. And to me, between him, Lashley, and anybody else that they may have a part of this Hurt Syndicate, whatever we're going to be calling it, there's no way that it's not going to be happening in AEW. For one thing, nobody else aside from them in WWE can afford it. Let's just forget about that when it comes to TNA or anybody else. But who knows? I could be wrong about that too. But all signs seem to be pointing towards a Hurt Syndicate going to AEW as far as I know. And this is going to be the influx of what we see with this new Shane McMahon era that we're about to get here. I mean, I can't look at that any other way. And I gotta say, this is going to be a real shot in the arm that AEW's been needing for a long time. I think this is finally going in the direction that I said we were going to expect this to be going at some point. Now, I'm not sure of the details of the TV deal, but it seems there's some other stuff I'm about to go into here in a moment, but at least just judging from the schematics that I've picked up on thus far, I have a problem believing that these aren't things that we're going to see. I ultimately do believe that we'll end up getting Becky Lynch or Rebecca Quinn, whatever she decides to go by, in AEW as well, but that'll be a subject for another time and place. What we are going to go into, though, is a little nugget I just discovered right before recording this, and I did steal this. Apologies to those that actually had a hold of this first, but yeah, you're seeing it right. Don't adjust your set, your monitors, or whatever. We may get some AEW on Fox. And it's not surprising. SmackDown this coming Friday, the 13th, by the way, is gonna be on USA Network. They had just had the final episode on Fox this past Friday. I have too many reasons to believe that this very much could be a thing. It's very possible. Do I see it necessarily happening realistically? I honestly don't know. I really and truly don't know. But if this is to be a thing, man, it's going to be incredibly interesting. But I gotta believe that everything with them and Warner Brothers Media has to be very much intact. As I understand it, they've come to some sort of agreement. I don't know what it's entailed, but clearly if this is to be the case at some point, it's not an exclusive deal, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for it. But, you know, one way or another, I just feel as if all these things that are happening with AEW right now, I'm actually starting to get hyped. There are a lot of things that I'm hyped for, and not just because it's football season, and believe you me, there's gonna be more on that. But I had to make sure I get on. I mean, it's actually 10 o'clock right now, so I'm kind of pushing my luck a bit because I got to get ready for work. But I had to get this off, especially with some of the things that I came across here. There was just no way I could resist talking about any of this. So I'm going to leave it all at that with that in mind. And y'all know the drill. Y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think down below. I mean, man, this could be some big shit we got coming along here, but man, y'all know what it is. Let me know what y'all think, and I thank y'all for rocking with me. Y'all know I'm AJ, and y'all better believe there's going to be more. Peace.